Alle sehr herzlich willkommen heißen bei uns im Allianz Stadion. Heute sehr erfreulich für uns und ich gebe das Wort gleich an den Trainer, Coach. Congratulations, a very, very important game and I think today you're really happy and satisfied, aren't you?
Most on behalf of the team, we knew that this game today will be a difficult one. I'll still say in terms of what they can do with the ball, I think Salzburg is probably the best team in the league, and we knew before the game that there would be many moments where we have to defend and we have to really fight and work hard and all this kind of stuff. So that was, I don't think I expected the most beautiful game for us out there, but I expected that we were really willing to do whatever it takes to get the result, and I think we managed to do that, and I think also the fans, they like to see that there's a team out there with 11 players plus the subs coming on that is willing to do everything they can to get a good result. So that's what I take from this, and of course on behalf of the club, it's a very, very important one. I could feel it from day one, and I could also feel it now with the ones around me. So it's a good day. We enjoy, and then we're ready again tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Dann bitte gerne Ihre Fragen. Mikrofon wird wie immer gereicht. Den Start macht Johannes Bauer für Laola.
A little Cinderella story with Shanis on this today. What were the reasons you decided to bring him from the beginning, and how will his situation change in the next weeks now that the contract situation is clear?
The reason is that he's been one of our best in training for a couple of weeks now. It was a big disappointment for him when the transfer window closed and we couldn't find an agreement with his club, so he potentially had to look at 5-6 months without playing any games. So he had some time off. He went back to France just to clear his head and his mind, and then coming back focusing on what he can do. And I've been hoping every day that we could solve it, because he just brings quality to the pitch, and fortunately for him first and foremost, but also for us, we managed to solve it the other day. And of course the history writes itself, I would say, with this very, very important goal out there. And I just said to the players in the changing room, just remember how fast they can go in football sometimes. You can be completely out in the dark, and then in one day everything can change, and now he's here.
Game could have been gone very differently in the first 20 minutes, but Nicky Hedl really had a very strong performance today. Yeah, he did. We knew it would be difficult. We knew that it's a good team in many ways. Fast strikers, good dribblers that can create chances out of just 1v1 situations. So we also knew that we needed some good saves from Nicky today, and he did it. If not our best player in the game, then at least the best player in the first half for us. Also heavily involved in our goal, where he sees that he can start the goal kick quick, and we get up and score that one. So I will almost also give him an assist for that one, because it's really, really good for him. It's important. We need good performances, and he was one of our best today. Also, I think one of the better games of Toby Gulliksen, even if he didn't start today, but coming in after 15 minutes.
Yeah, and sometimes it is just to focus on the basics in football before you take the next step. And for him, what I've needed from him is the ability to run back and press with intensity and defend with intensity. And I've talked to him many times the last couple of weeks and said that that's where we have to start before we can focusing on all the other things. But if you get that right, all the other things, they will naturally come. And I think this is a big step for him in the right direction, showing also that he's willing to just do what it takes for the team. And it was not about him and ego or anything today. It was just doing what he was told to do.
For a very important game, some experiments maybe. Daniel Nuno starting right on the right side in the back, and also Matthias Seidel in the finish in a similar position. What were your thoughts about that?
We have talked many times, and I prefer playing with 3 midfielders, but I also have to be honest and say I don't really think we have 3 midfielders available at the moment. So I should not be stubborn and then stick to what I think is my idea. I need to look at the players available and then select the best players available for a game, and then find a system that hopefully suits suits them. We tried with Nuno on the right side to be very offensive-minded on the right side with him and Nicky, see if we could get in behind them and see if we could go on the counter a couple of times with them on the right side. And of course, unfortunately, we need to change that idea after 15 minutes. But I think we still managed to punish them a little bit down the right side, which was the initial idea.
And last one from me. How big is your personal relief now, especially after those 45 minutes in the second half? Very, very. How should I say?
Just say it.
Very nervous.
But I think, of course, you're always a little bit anxious as a coach, and you always see worst case scenarios. But I actually think that the players solved it very good, and I think, despite the first 5 minutes of second half and a little bit at the end, I think we managed to have the control also in moments defensively, which was important for us. Of course, it's not always how we want to play the games, but we also just needed to do what was necessary, and I think the team did that. And he was nervous at the end, and I'm very happy that we could hear the fans, especially the last 10 minutes, where they supported everything they could, because we needed that little extra push. But I'm most happy for the players, because they have been through a lot of pressure and negativity, and I still consider myself a little bit new in the building, so I don't want to take the praise for this one. It's only the players.
Dankeschön, danke Johannes. Kurzer Zusatz zum Sätze über die Fans. Also die Zuschauerzahl ist ja durchgegeben worden, die für Rapid-Fans geöffneten Sektoren waren tatsächlich dann heute kurz vor Spielbeginn restlos ausverkauft. Nächste Frage bitte, next question. Alex Huber bitte, Kurier.
Coach, when did you decide to play with 3 defenders in the back line? Because on Friday it looked different.
After Friday. No, we decided when we... first of all, we could see that it was probably unrealistic to play Bendy. We could also see that we have still some midfielders who are not available, with Martin and C on the injury list, with Romeo suspended for this game. So we probably didn't have 3 midfielders available for the whole game. If we should also have one that we could change or make a substitution later in the game, which is also important. So I think it was actually a very easy decision for us to say, okay, we need to play with 3 or 5 in the back, because that's where we have most players available. So that was the main reason behind the decision.
And what happened with Daniel Nuno? Is it a big injury?
I don't hope it's a big one. He made a stretch to win the ball. After maybe around 10 minutes, and could feel it a little bit in his. The upper thigh. Tried to go on with it, but it was too much. It was too painful. So we have to wait and see. Probably going through a scan tomorrow, so we get the results.
What do you think about the positioning of players who used to play on other side or another direction? When I remember your talks in Spain, you talked about Matthias Seidel in a very offensive part, and now he played the last 20 minutes as a right defender.
Because again we have to use the players available, and we need to use him on midfield at the moment, because we only have him, Grigic and Toby available on these midfield positions, and we also knew that we probably needed a midfield on the bench to come on. So to start with 3 was not possible for us. And then we know Matti is he never gets tired. He can run and run and run. So he can also cover different positions, and I think that's probably one thing we don't praise him enough for. That's the ability to always do what the team needs, and I think again by playing a wing back or right-sided defender for the last 20 minutes today is another one for him, just doing what the team needs. It's not his favorite position, but he did the job well.
And Andy Weimann said now is everything possible for a bit. Maybe this is just in the first emotion after the victory, but what do you think? What is possible now?
I work exactly the same if we win or lose, because I believe very much in these players. I also believe on the way that I do things. So it's a huge focus on the next training, and then it's the training after that, and then it's the next game that is in front of us. That's the only thing we can affect. All the other things are just talk. We can sit in here and talk about top 1 or top 2 or top 3 or top 4 for the rest of the evening without knowing anything about that. We can only affect what we do as a team, and that starts where we train, and that's the only thing in my mind. What I hope, though, is that this result tonight will take a little bit of the pressure off the shoulders of the players, so we can get an even better Rapid team to see in the next and last 10 games of the season.
Dankeschön. Dann sage ich danke fürs Interesse. Einmal mehr, congrats, Coach, and we will see when we see.
And the headline today, I'll make it for you. The headline today is that this team out there, they did everything they needed to do to get this win. Because the stories, when I open the papers tomorrow, they are positive about this team, because they deserve it. Agreed?
Yes, they agree. Thank you.